Good morning, Sammy. Did you sleep well? You ready to critique some of Mama's work today? Yeah. You don't look enthused about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is CJ Raymer and I write new adult and women's contemporary fiction. I hope you guys are doing well today. I thought I might do something a little bit different. I thought maybe I would read an excerpt from Wanderlusted. I had something else totally planned for today and then I took a turn. I feel kind of weird about reading on YouTube, but I'm going to give it a try. So I am just going to envision each of you guys and that I am just reading to you from my heart. Again, I will be reading a little excerpt from chapter 2 of Wanderlusted, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Wanderlusted is about Katie, who ends up suffering some really traumatic losses in her life, and it catapults her into a new lifestyle that she's never experienced before. She has a best friend who is a nomad and who lives on the road, but Katie never thought that would be for her. But once she endures these losses, it makes her reevaluate some things in her life, and she decides that she's going to experiment with the nomadic lifestyle as well. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a spoiler-free background on Katie. Wanderlusted is written in first person from Katie's point of view. All right, here we go. Wanderlusted chapter 2. I had always remembered the events of that trip with sweet recollection. It was a happy time in my life, a time when I expected my future to be filled with joy and blissful anticipation. No, I didn't expect things to ever be perfect, but I believed the elation of what was to come would certainly win out over any of the challenges Trey and I would have had to face together. Everything would just take time. It's a bewildering thing, time. It can speed by, leaving us feeling whiplash by the sheer veracity of it, or it can crawl like a slug, causing us to burn with impatience. Every person I know would agree to have experienced one or the other at some point, including myself. But there is one belief about time that I do not accede to. That is that claim that time heals all wounds. It doesn't. Time did not heal my wounds. It cursed me with more. Katie, my boss Amanda called to me from her door that was cracked halfway open. Can we talk? Oh God, I thought. I was not looking forward to what she had to say. I was well aware of my dismal numbers. I hadn't been myself in months. A hot and cold sensation shot through my body. I knew I was going to be facing a difficult conversation, and my nerve endings reacted to that knowledge with chill bumps forming on the surface of my skin. I took my place, sitting down in the chair facing her desk. I sheepishly awaited her remarks on my latest stats. I'm sorry, Katie. Your performance is not reflecting the excellence or passion that you once had for this company. You're just not as mentally present as you used to be. Those jarring words echoed in my head like an earworm. You know, those involuntary stuck in your head songs or jingles that you just can't escape because they invaded every crevice of your brain and were set to repeat over and over again. I knew she was right. That was why I had dreaded this performance review. I wasn't the same go-getter that I used to be months before. I just didn't have it in me anymore. We've spoken about your less than stellar numbers a few times over the past 3 months, and there's been no marked improvement. I know you've been through a lot on a personal level, but it's been 6 months, and we just can't keep holding you to a lesser standard than we do to the rest of the team. So we have no choice, Katie. We are letting you go, Amanda said, while perusing her laptop screen. I suppose she was revisiting my sucky numbers, or maybe even checking her email. Whatever she was doing at that moment was compounded by the sound of her long scarlet red polished nails clicking away on her keyboard as she feigned the slightest bit of interest in my impending demise. Didn't matter how many words she used to explain the situation to me, Amanda still came across as having said one thing and one thing only. You've failed. Cold and impersonal, she had delivered the swing of her upper managerial hatchet with swift and brutal efficiency. I was terminated. Damn it, I've never failed at anything. Well, not anything of real importance. This hadn't been my attempt to bake a chocolate souffle or paint the next great work of art. This was my job, and I had never failed at my job. I sat motionless and drowning in a vat of steaming humiliation, embarrassed to my core. I wondered where my fight had gone. Why didn't I stick up for myself and try to persuade her to give me another chance? I guess it was because she was right. I had lost my passion, and not just for my job, but for my life. Mortification filled my soul as I gathered my belongings amidst the whispers of the gossipy office. Yes, the once fearless leader had fallen with rapid descent. Piece by piece, I lifted treasured mementos from off my desk and humbly cleared the way for the next in line. Hugs and well wishes from my colleagues did nothing for me. I was appreciative of their sentiments, but they would not help me from that point on. Filled with all of the items that made my work desk a home away from home, I placed my box of termination shame on the passenger seat of my car. Framed pictures of Trey and me, faux succulents, awards for excellence at my job, and random other things that had filled the drawers and shelves of my office taunted me with the realization that I was unemployed. I heard Amanda's words replay in my mind, and I wondered what the hell I was going to do. I grieved the last bit of self that I had lost as it was unceremoniously stripped away. I was only 30 years old and believed my life was already over. It had been spent. My job had been the last bit of my life that was recognizable to me. With that gone, I had nothing left. I didn't tell anyone for a week after losing my position. By anyone, I mean my parents. I didn't want the attention. I didn't want the invasion. I just wanted the liberty to disappear for a while. Empty cartons of delivery food were strewn about my apartment living room. Sticky sweet and sour sauce glued paper napkins to my large white coffee table. Rings from my teacup had stained the paint. Laundry lay on my floor like breadcrumbs marking a path of no return. A wretched smell wafted in my kitchen. I had dumped uneaten food into the sink and forgotten to rinse it down the disposal. I was desensitized to the wretchedness that had so quickly become my life. The sound of my cell phone stunned me back into reality. I thought I had left it on silent, but I guess I had changed the setting. Everything from the previous days while on my self-inflicted house arrest was somewhat of a blur to me. The number was my mom's. She would just keep calling me if I didn't answer. It made me feel trapped. "Hello?" I said, as a sensation of dread overcame me. I just wasn't ready to face the reality of it all. "Hello, my love," my mom's sweet voice answered on the other end. Most people would probably want to cry on their mother's shoulder during a time of crisis. Moms, for the most part, just know how to comfort us and kiss the boo-boos of our injured lives. Until that moment, I had successfully avoided the one woman who I knew wouldn't judge me. "Hi, Mom, what's up?" "The question is, what's up with you? I called your office today. You know, because I hadn't heard from you in days." Well, that was a passive-aggressive statement, if I had ever heard one. "And I was told that you were no longer employed there. What happened, sweetheart? Are you okay?" "No, Mom, I'm not." "So are you going to tell me what happened?" "If you don't mind, I really don't feel like talking about it." "Well, you know I'm here for you. Just whenever you're ready to talk, let me know. Do you need anything?" That was a loaded question. I needed peace. I needed space. I needed a job. I needed a reprieve from this shithole of a life that had risen up from the depths of hell. Most of all, I needed time. Time to regroup and figure out what I was going to do with my life, with what little life I had left. I needed things to be easy from that point on, but I knew that was way too much to ask. Life is never easy. It's unfair, it's brutal, and it sucks. Honey, are you still there? My mother asked. I could hear the concern in her voice. Yes, I'm here. I just wandered off a bit. I know you've been through so much, sweetheart. I can't even imagine. I was just worried about you. I understand, and I really appreciate you always being there for me. Please know that I love you. I'm just not ready to talk about anything at the moment. I promise I'll call you soon. I just need a little more time to process things. I held it together for as long as it took for me to get off the phone. But instead of tears, I felt nauseated and I began to hyperventilate. This had become a regular occurrence for me. I ran to the bathroom just in time to throw up, and it came with such a violent force I thought I might have damaged the back of my throat. It was difficult for me to swallow for 2 days following that episode. As I sat on my chilly bathroom floor, my mind dazed and fogged up, it took several minutes just to be able to lift myself up to the sink. I grabbed the Hers monogrammed hand towel, dampened it, and wiped my face with the cool relief that it afforded me. Swishing a mouthful of tap water back and forth, I attempted to get the last bit of sour vomit out from between my cheek, gums, and the back of my throat. Bile burned the back of my nose and throat with its acidity. I glanced up at my reflection in the mirror. I looked like hell. That's okay, I thought. I feel like hell. I began to wonder how long I would be like this, a total wreck. It sucked that I had found myself in a position of trying to figure out what was next for me. I didn't want to figure anything out. I had already done that. I had spent years curating the pieces of my life. I worked hard in high school and college. I found the man that I planned on spending the rest of my life with. We made a beautiful life together, and I wondered if I would ever have a beautiful life again. I convinced myself that I had been too cocky, that I had too much of a good thing and I didn't appreciate it, that such an insignificant person shouldn't have been so fortunate. It had all been a dirty trick. So that was just a little excerpt from chapter 2 of Wanderlusted. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it to you. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you would like for me to do this again in the future, just let me know. And I also kind of want to encourage other authors out there that are on AuthorTube that might not be doing this. Maybe consider sharing a little piece of your already published works. That would be great. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. It helps for reach. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All of those links will be in the description. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and you will see me on Wednesday. Thanks. Bye.